everyone. This is Robin. Hang on, let me bring my full face up. Sorry, I'm going to level with you with you all. This is quite a new piece of software, or rather, it's a new implementation of an old piece of software, one that I was very familiar with. And this new version, well, they've changed everything, haven't they? Which is great because there's lots of new features. Doesn't mean that this is going to be the slickest webinar you have ever attended. And that's okay, right? Because, hey, life is a journey. We're all learning as we go. And this has just thrown another opportunity for learning in there. And if it seems like I'm stalling, you may be right. We're just waiting to see if a few more people who have registered will join us. In the meantime, well, I'll just start. Hello. Hi, I'm Robin, founder and owner of Coaching for Geeks. Welcome to my domain of nebulas, of flip charts, and of hair that's doing a thing. So no matter what I did, I couldn't make that stick down. And that's okay, because sometimes things go out of our hands and we make do with what we can and deal with it and just get on with it. My hair has looked a lot worse on camera in the past, because this is a domain of purpose, of knowing what you want and then going for it and getting it so that you can be satisfied, so that you can make money, so that you can have a home life, so that you can do all of the things that you want to do. Now, it's not necessarily going to be easy. It's not necessarily going to have the easiest run of things yourself. I'll be honest with you, I had a bit of a wobble this week and felt like flipping the table, giving it all up. Sorry, that was last week, because sometimes things are difficult or hard. And that's why we're here to help. That's the whole point of Coaching for Geeks. We do fitness coaching, dating coaching, and life coaching, and business coaching and career coaching in order to help people live the most satisfied, fulfilled life that they can. Very much getting away from myself. We haven't even started yet. Most important, the most important tool any speaker's arsenal of tools, tips, and tricks. Lovely cup of tea. I'll try not to make too much noise while I'm drinking my tea. It's a lovely cup of tea, actually. So yes, we should probably make a start. Let me get these slides back up and start. There we go. Purpose. How to find yours is the missing word. Coaching for Geeks proudly presents Purpose, How to Find Yours. And we've been turning geeks into superheroes since 2015. The organisation has existed in its current form with my colleagues since 2016. I get paid to help people, to help organisations, to help conventions. I get paid to attend conferences and conventions. It's great. I run role-playing games for entrepreneurs, for businesses, for team building, to enable people to try things out in less hostile environments, unless they get killed by a dragon or something. I consult with conventions on their offerings, enabling them to expand what they do. You know, they want to look good, but they also want to attract attendees. It's finding that balance for people. So embracing, LGBT plus activities and looking at access, looking at diversity, looking at fitness and looking at mental health, all of those sorts of things. Most important of all, every day I help geeks gain life XP, level up, and become the best damn geeks they could be. Good, right? I'm quite proud of it. But it wasn't always that way. Good. I'm glad that that went smoothly. It wasn't always that way. Oh no. Getting a little bit ahead of ourselves though, because we just need to check a few things are working. Because, excuse me, more tea. And a siren in the background, brilliant. I live in East London. It happens sometimes. Yeah. Let's carry on. Let's carry on regardless. I need to check a few things are working. So if you can hear me, please type A for audio in the chat. I know there's a bit of a lag, so that might not happen for a moment. Brilliant. If you can see me, if you can see the video okay, please type V. If you can see both, AV, AV, AV. Great. Let's just check that. The poll works. There we go. Can you see this poll? See, I get to see the results before you. Very funny. Well done. And can you? We know you can see the slides, right? Yes, thank you. And can you see? Let's do this one. This offer. Our free cheat book to life itself. I'll leave that up for a little while in case you want to download it. It's really very good. I'm really quite proud of it. It's me and my coaches collaborated on a 7-step guide to using your geek mind to win at life. Okay, and last thing, I think the videos are working. Let's try this one and then we'll see.
What is my purpose?
Pass the butter. Thank you.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the club, pal.
I mean, how could we not start with a bit of Rick and Morty? What is my purpose? That's a beautiful segue into the show. Let's get things going. So let's cover what we're actually going to be covering. So you know what's coming up. 45 minutes. I'll tell you a bit about me, why I'm an authority to help you. If you don't know your purpose, if you want to find stuff out, that I'm not just some schmo. I'm some schmo with a whole load of expertise in this area who spent the last 5 years and longer figuring it out. Talk about what purpose is and why it's so important to figure out. Where does it come from? Because, do you know what? Sorry, gang, you're not the chosen one. Steps to find out yours. Sorry, why is it so hard to identify? There are reasons why things get in the way, and then some steps to find out your purpose. And we'll also talk at the end. I'm not going to sell to you throughout this webinar. At the end, if you found it useful, if you want to take the next step, then we'll let you know how you can do that and how you can get involved with Coaching for Geeks. So let's get going with the most favourite topic of all, me. I'm not that egotistical. So let's talk about Sully from Uncharted instead, because we don't get to choose how we start in this life. Real greatness is what you do with the hand you're dealt. Ah, Sully. If only I'd figured that one out a little bit earlier in life. Because I'm just the guy who got very, very lost in the world, found his way back, bounced back. Alan Partridge fans, that one's for you. Let's have a quick run through of my history. There I am. I don't know how old I am. I don't actually know where that is. It's possibly Blackpool or Butlins. Excuse me. Those were our holidays where we went. Sorry about that. We are very professional. I promise. But my body does make some unfortunate noises sometimes. And I've made it so much worse by drawing attention to it, haven't I? I could have got away with it. Anyway, sorry, that's me. shy, geeky kid. There I am, trying to hide my face with McDonald's. I think it might be a Wimpy milkshake or Coke. Not sure. But I never really learned adequate social skills. Let's take young Robin away. Didn't really learn adequate social skills. I was much happier. Sat at home playing on my Spectrum 48K plus, or before that, the BBC Micro Model B, Super Nintendo, Amiga A500 plus. Always a lot of pluses in computers back then. I had a 3DO. Look, we all make mistakes. It's not like I had a Jaguar or a CDI or an Amiga CD32. You know, don't judge me. I hung out with the local kids, but I didn't. As a teenager, it was booze. Booze was the only thing that got me through. I had a Saturday job, and my money went on drinking. Started hanging out with the bad kids. Started rebelling. Got my ear pierced, my head shaved, and overnight I was a different person. Got in trouble with the law. Lots of, I buggered it up, basically. I buggered it up. And went to university. Somehow I managed to scrape together the grades to go to university. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't an adult yet. And that's when I turned to drugs instead and spent my student loan on Sega Dreamcast, Crazy Taxi, Sonic Adventure, an arcade stick, and a bag of Coke, and a bag of weed. And that is kind of how the rest of that year went. And it carried on in that manner until the shit really hit the fan. Sirens starting at the right time when I was airlifted out of the Glastonbury Festival on the brink of renal failure. Kids, that is not how to get ahead in life. Please don't turn to drink and drugs as your crutches, because they will fuck you up, as they did me. It was quite a long recovery. My mum's a nurse. She came to see me in a hospital. They left my toxicology report at the foot of the bed. Yeah, I was a disappointment. So I had to make changes to my life. And I read a bunch of books, a bunch of self-help books. Some here. These aren't exclusively the self-help books that I read, but I had a library card. This was early days of the internet still. This kind of thing didn't exist. And some of these books, and some of the books, and some books that I have no idea what they are at this point in my life, made a huge difference. I absorbed what I could. I practiced what I could. I started learning. I didn't realize it was NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, that I was practicing, but I was doing that. I attended sort of local meetups that we found in the paper rather than on Meetup, and I sorted it out. I sorted my life out, and I climbed. I took jobs. I progressed. I climbed the corporate ladder, starting from the very bottom. Moved to London. Got offered a job in London. That was exciting. And climbed the corporate ladder. I got quite far. In fact, I would say I got pretty close to the top. Unfortunately, when I got there, I took a look around. What the fuck am I doing with my life? I found myself crying on the Northern Line on the way home that day. And it was a long journey home as well. See, I never really had a plan in life. I never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. Just out of interest, did you know what you wanted to be when you were a kid? Is that poll going? So I didn't. Apparently at one point I said I wanted to be in the army. No, that's not me. I think I realised what the army was at that age. I just remember other kids saying that. Pick up the Wonder Woman. I never had a plan. I didn't know what I wanted to be, and it looks like other people didn't know either. So I got to the top, and I'd had no direction. I sat down and took stock, and I realised I was so unhappy with my job, like so flipping miserable, that my social life had disappeared, my sex life had disappeared. I'd eaten and drank my feelings. I was a fat, red, blotchy drunk who was miserable with their job and commuting a couple of hours every day to do something that made them desperately unhappy. I don't know if that's familiar to anyone, but that's where I was. I threatened to throw it all away, to leave London forever, to go and move in with my mum, who's probably grateful that I didn't do that. Go to Devon, get a dog, go and walk on the moors. I was so unhappy. I couldn't see a way out of it at the time. And the human brain it has this amazing capacity to forget pain. Admittedly, not for everyone, but it has this amazing capacity to forget pain. So does the body, actually. So I asked some friends what I was like back then. Could you describe what I was like when I hated my job? It wasn't right for you, so you were deeply unhappy, you were bored, that you were busy, you thought it was a good direction, but it wasn't you, so you felt lost. Yeah, I felt lost. And then doubted yourself massively. Doubts and questions were really intense. There was nothing you enjoyed in it. It made you question your entire line of work. Felt like you were questioning your very existence. And the solution indeed was a complete reboot. I was unhappy and despondent, and possibly a bit frantic and worst case about it. It's up to you how much that you believe. That was my friend Martin. He hates Pikachu. And can you trust someone who hates Pikachu? Yes, is the response Martin would give. So we thought we'd check in with someone else. And this is Liz. You were incredibly fed up and frustrated to the point that it made you not like anything else either and want to give up, which was so taxing because you're really very upbeat and engaged otherwise. Sorry that my misery was taxing. But that's the effect that this has on people. And look, you wouldn't want to upset Liz, whose literal last WhatsApp to me was, "I'm in fancy dress. Is that still appropriate?" Of course, the answer was yes. We wanted her to turn up in fancy dress. I took that photo. You can't see the skulls that were decorating that awning. Is that an awning? So I just sort of expected things to happen. I think that this is true for a lot of people my age. We were kind of told we were special, we were told the world was our oyster. And it turns out it's not, unless you make things happen. And I had to make change happen. So I did. I had to change things. I mean, I could have probably found another job, but would I have ever been fulfilled? Possibly, if it met my values. And this is where, oh God, this is where we are now. There's got to be a professional. There must be a professional. There we go. At least one professional pick at the top right there. I get to live a life of purpose, a life I enjoy, a life doing things that make me happy. There we go. Show off for this one. That's, I've forgotten his name, not Jason Priestley. He was in 90210. Daniel Priestley, the author of Key Person of Influence. Simone Vincenzi, co-founder of Geeks, me at the Houses of Parliament, the Palace of Westminster, receiving an award for our first year of coaching for Geeks. Hey! And yes, my neck was too fat to properly do my tie-up, so I do look like a mess there. Lost quite a lot of weight since then, but I still don't like doing my top button up. And we get to go to play rock club and sing on stage and go to power stations and help them with their personal and professional development, because that's what we do now. And so Coaching for Geeks was born. I took a long, hard look at my values, at what was important to me. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to have respect. I wanted to talk to people. I wanted to see results from my actions. I wanted to... And I've done a lot of coaching. I've trained in life coaching, in cognitive behavior therapy, in neuro-linguistic programming, in integral eye movement therapy. And I've played a lot of games. We've gamified a lot of stuff. We have a Facebook group nearing 1,000 members. Oh yeah, I can give you the link for that if I can figure out the offer. There we go. There we go. It's glitchy for a reason. We recently did a challenge where Nego Robin had taken over and had glitched everything. It was a lot of fun because we gamify personal development. We've hit over 50,000 on Twitter. We've got 12k on Instagram. Between me and my coaches. Oh yeah, my coaches. Let's talk about them. It's all about me. We've got Coach Austin, who does fitness. He's from Hyper Strength and Conditioning, California, as he'd say. And then we have Ray, the Gutsy Geek, who's from Montreal in Canada. Between us, we have helped thousands of geeks to get what they want from life. And we love it. So there you go. I've worked with systems analysts. I've worked with drag queens. I've worked with sword swallowers. I've worked with people in the occult. I've worked with app developers, teachers, people in the forces, a lot of engineers, scientists, people of all kinds, dancers, YouTubers, Twitter influencers. I love what I do. All of this has only happened because I started to live a life of purpose, a life of passion, a life of meaning. So let's talk about what that is, because I've clearly gone too far. Oh no, one more video, because I've also worked with puppets.
Right, something very different for you today, because I'm getting tutored by Coaching for Geeks. Now, back in October,
So yeah, worked with Ray, the puppet from Nottingham, on growing his brand. And, he's got 300 more subscribers in the space of about a week, which is great. Sorry, back to the slides. What even is purpose? Because sure, you want to live a life of purpose. That's why you're here. So what is it? What even is it? Well, we've got another awkwardly scheduled video.
I've come too far for anything else. I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glorious purpose.
Loki. Brother of Thor.
Oh, Loki. Well, you lucky chap, because it's not that simple for everyone. It's just not that simple for everyone. Missed the meme out. Love a good meme. I'm Loki of Asgard. I'm burdened with glorious purpose. Well done, love. Well done. You know what you want. Not everyone's that lucky. Skipped right ahead there again. So your purpose is a motivating force that drives you to action or inaction. It's something that motivates you. It's interchangeable with meaning, with calling. It could be related to your vocation, family, friends, spirituality, performance, playing, helping, teaching, learning, collecting, making, doing, seeing, traveling, maybe even being as comfortable as possible. Though we'll come back to why comfort is kind of your enemy in a way later. It's what excites you, your passion, your raison d'etre, your meaning of being, of getting ahead of myself again. It could be to have a happy home life. It could be to collect every single boxed NES game from every region. It could be to make a fortune in advertising, to travel the world, to make the most, I was going to say perfect, but there's no such thing as perfection, to make the best cup of tea anyone has ever tasted. It's getting a bit low. I might need a break to brew up again. And it's important, if your purpose is not apparent to you, how will you live it? There are the lucky ones who stumble on it by accident and just do it. So that, all glory to them. Well done. But it's so important because it's so closely related to your values, the things that matter to you, your core, deep down inside of you. So I'm going to put up a workbook for you to download. There we go. It is just in Word. It's not the fanciest workbook in the world because I was fiddling with it and tweaking it until just before the webinar. So here's the workbook, and there's an exercise there for you to find out your core values and choose one area of life that matters to you. It could be work, family, relationships, relaxation and leisure time, fitness, health, society, spirituality, whatever. One area. You could go for life itself. You could go for life itself and go big and deep right from the start. And then write down, ask yourself a question. What is important to me about work? What is important to me about the business? What is important to me about relationships? And then just let your pen go. There's something about the connection between pen and paper that just seems to get more out, but you can do it on a laptop. I'm not going to demand either way. I think this is better. And you're going to get stuck. They tend to come in fits and spurts. The ones that come out first are the easy ones. There's more to be had. So you keep drilling down, you keep going. I've given you space for 50. I will want at least 20. Don't do it now. You've got me to listen to, but I want at least 20, probably 30. And if you get stuck, you ask someone. You say, hey, Jim, just come and ask me this question. Ask me what's important to me about life. And that will generate more answers. So that you then order them. Your top 5. Those are your core values. And those are what are most important to you. Those are the things that need to be true in that area of your life for you to feel satisfied. And if they're not, or at least the majority of them, if they're not, then it's going to cause you problems. For me, I know I'm an emotional eater and drinker, and that was one of the problems it caused me, and then everything else just spiraled out of control. And I did this around work and figured out some of my core values were around mutual respect, helping people, making an impact, being kept informed, and they just weren't being met. They just weren't being met at all. So I probably could have found a job that met a lot of those values, but that wasn't enough for me. I wanted more. Your purpose might just be a smiley, happy person, to have a great family life, to take care of your spouse and your children, and that's wonderful. All power to you if that's your purpose. Maybe it's to make amazing soap, maybe it's to create art, maybe it's to go dancing down the street and rolling about in the freshly cut grass in the summer. Amazing. Love it. If those are your purposes, go for them. Go for them wholeheartedly, because that is what will make you satisfied. That is what will make you happy. Other people might have them around their career, around business, around home life, around absolutely anything. So figure out your values. You can do this around any area of your life, and you'll get that much deeper understanding about who you are, what's important to you, what your purpose is. Okay, because not everyone's as lucky as Loki. Although, hey, we'll see how lucky he is in Infinity War, right? So where does purpose come from? Oh, we've got another video.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
Good old Rick and Morty. Bit of a nihilistic show, but very accurate. No one's here on purpose. We're all here by chance. You get one shot. No one's getting out of here alive, no matter how many coins you collect. So why not go for it? Why not figure out your purpose? It's not given to you. Thank you, The Flash. Purpose isn't given to you. You make your own. Thank you, Andrew Ryan. We do all make choices, and it's our choices that makes us. This is all going to be useful in doing a little equation about it. And again, Morty. So Where does it come from? It's time for the flip chart. Right. Clearly, my purpose was not to be great at writing on flip chart. My handwriting's awful. I have ordered some chisel tip pens. Next time, when you come to the next amazing webinar from Coaching for Geeks, that will be a lot more clear. So, the purpose comes from you. No one else, nowhere else. It comes from you. It is the summation of all of your values plus your experience. So you and your values, it's not quite it though, is it? I mean, you and your values doesn't reveal your purpose to you. It tells you what's important to you, but it doesn't translate those core values onto an activity or a thing or a meaning or a purpose, right? All it does is tell you that initial piece of incredibly vital and incredibly useful information, but it's not quite there yet. So what's next? Is it helping people? A lot of people in personal development will tell you that your purpose must include helping people. I would say no. Whilst everything we do, whether it's inherently good or bad or evil, is up for debate, everything we do helps somebody. Even if you are evil and you work for EA and create monetizing loot crates to rinse people of money is your purpose, you're helping EA. You're helping yourself. You know, if awful things that people do are helping themselves or other people. So I'm not putting that in there. What I am going to put in is experience. What if your purpose is around knitting, but you've never knitted? What if it's around gaming, but you've never picked up a joypad? What if it's around psychology, but you've never read psychology? What if your purpose is something you haven't done yet? Now we're getting somewhere. Let's add action as well. How will you know what you want to do if you haven't had a lot of experience? You've got to get out there. You've got to try things. You've got to experience the world. It's only through action and experience that your purpose will become clear. I only figured out I wanted to be a coach because I did a certificate in learning and development practice. I only did that because the job I was in couldn't pay me anymore. And so they paid me off in a really expensive course, which included some coaching. It was top of the class at coaching, was natural at it. Gifts and abilities. I should have really done this as a slide, shouldn't I? Your purpose is you, plus your values, your experience, plus action, plus your gifts and abilities. What are gifts and abilities? These are the things you are naturally good at. You know how some people can just pick up a guitar and play it and start strumming and they get it. Some people are just good at public speaking. Some people are just good at teaching. Some people are just good at writing on flip charts or graphic design or communicate or walking or making people feel comfortable or people feel safe or storytelling, or these would all be your gifts and abilities. We could do a whole exercise on figuring out what your gifts and abilities are. These are the things that are just innate to you, but we don't have the time. We'll do that another time. It's not just your gifts and abilities, it's also your can't remember the words, skills and talents. All right, so purposes, you plus your values, plus experience and action, your gifts and abilities, and your skills and talents. Now, these are the learned things. So if I hadn't have been on that course, I wouldn't have realised that coaching was kind of a gift, and I still had to do some learning around it to get the skill, to get the talent, to be able to achieve what we've achieved so far. I've had to do so much more learning as well. It's not just I did a course and all of a sudden Coaching for Geeks was born. We did a course with lots of practice. We worked with people. We got the experience, took action, and I discovered my purpose. So that's maybe divided by usefulness. Can't even see this. Helping people know, usefulness. That's probably more likely. Right, that's making sense to everyone. So to figure it out, you're going to have to take action. You're going to have to do more. You're going to have to go beyond your comfort zone, which we are going to talk about very soon too. Because, just checking the time, we better plough on ahead to why is it so hard to identify? Why don't we just know? Why don't we just do some things and go, oh yeah, that's what I want to do? Some people do. Those are the lucky ones. There's only a dribble of that left. And it's very cold. So that's why it's fear. I'm a little bit annoyed with the webinar jam. I had beautifully animated this, so it morphed into fear. And I was very, very proud of it. Hopefully the next version will enable Keynote to work as it's supposed to. And I am actually just killing time whilst I get the video working.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it is to be a slave.
Thank you, Roy Batty. From Blade Runner there. Fear. Fear is something we need to acknowledge because, again, it drives action and inaction. We have these reptilian parts of our brain which cause us to fight. It's the fight or flight reflex. And quite often we do nothing as a result because we're scared. We don't even realize that it's fear. But here are the common reasons that people don't find their purpose. Thanks, Roy. You've already been up. Selfish, you might fail. It might be a mistake. You might succeed. You might have a history of failure. You might not make a difference, or it's not the right time. We're going to smash each of these quite quickly. It's selfish. Well, thank you, Tyler Durden. What's the point of that? In an emergency on an aircraft, when it depressurizes, you have to put your own mask on first because you've only got about 30 seconds before you risk passing out if the pressure changes. That's why they say, before you help any children, put your own mask on first. And this is the same of figuring out your purpose. If you don't do it, what are you stopping from entering the world? What are you not creating? Who are you not helping? And who else are you relying upon because you're not living a life of purpose, because you're not doing what you want? What if you become like me and become a right miserable bugger and you're dragging your friends down, so much so that Liz said it was trying? Thanks, Liz. I'm going to have words with you later. It's not selfish. You've got to bring your knowledge, skills, gifts, and experience to the world. You might not change the whole world, but you might change your own world, which is a line I wasn't supposed to use yet, but there we go. It's out there now, which addresses points 2 and 3 about failing and making a mistake. You might fail, you might make a mistake, but it doesn't matter how far down the wrong path you go, as long as you turn back at some point. You're not lost forever. Thank you, Professor X. And what if it is a mistake? Well, I've failed and made a bunch of mistakes. Look there where it says text that's supposed to have the web address in it. That's a mistake. Doesn't matter. I've dropped out of university. I've had failed relationships, made mistakes in training, made business mistakes. I've invested in things that have gone wrong. So what? You learn from it. Edison was right. I'm not sure Tesla would be happy about it, but Edison was right. I've just failed. Found 10,000 ways that won't work. There's no such thing as failure. It's all just feedback. Start treating it as such. Oh, what if you succeed? Love this quote. Don't know if you heard that train whistle. I have no idea where I'm going to be tomorrow, but I accept that tomorrow will come and I am going to rise to meet it. Yes, you are, Wonder Girls. Wonder Girls. See, I'm embracing mistakes now. Thank you, Wonder Girl. You don't know what life is going to throw at you. So what if you do succeed? People might treat you differently. Your life might change forever. You might live somewhere new. You might be in charge of a business and have to step up and become a leader. You will learn. You will figure it out. You will grow. You will seek help. Surround yourself with the right people, the right tools and resources, and be a massive success. What if you've got a history of failure? Aidan Pierce from, well, I don't know if we'd call Watch Dogs a failure. Certainly didn't live up to the hype. He doesn't look back anymore. He doesn't regret. He looks forward. Not to a second game, unfortunately, because you weren't the star. You weren't the star of Watch Dogs 2. Look, we all have a past. We all have a history. We've all maybe done things we regret. We've all maybe done things that were wrong. We've all maybe fucked up, blown it, failed, made a mistake, thrown massive opportunities away. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's got you where you are now. You know, all of us could have invested in Bitcoin and be millionaires by now. So what? We look to the future. Maybe we look at other cryptos. I'm not going to get into Bitcoin. That's all my timeline's about at the moment. But it doesn't affect who you are now or what you have now. You create your own future. And I suggest you do. Right. Won't make a difference. I was going to have a video here, but last time I tried it, we ended up watching a lot of Lord of the Rings. So we'll just use the quote, because even the smallest person can change the course of the future. You won't if you don't try, right? What if you make a difference to just you? That's important. What if you make a difference to one other person? That's important too. What if you make a difference to a bunch of dogs, a bunch of adorable puppies who need some help? What if you change the course of the future for knitters, for gamers? I don't know why I keep coming back to knitting. People with weird thumbs, people who don't spell good. Zoolander. You are constantly making a difference to people's lives, whether you realize it or not, whether you like it or not. Every day you get up, you go out, you interact, you engage with people, you are changing their lives. Why not make it for the better? Why not make it for your better? Maybe it's not the right time. What if we just wait? So if I learn this first, if I do that first, you keep waiting for the dust to settle. And you realise this is it. The dust is your life going on. There's never a right time. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be a reason not to try, not to put yourself out there. Stop that right now. Please, please don't keep waiting. Time is ticking. The longer you leave it, the less time you have. It's never too late until it's over. So keep going. you know, you get one you get one life, one opportunity. It doesn't matter how many coins you have. Maybe rings would have been better for a Sonic. Hang on. Lord of the Rings Sonic crossover. That would have been a weird movie if it was a hedgehog instead of a hobbit going on an unexpected journey. It's never going to be right. So just do it. Just bloody do it. Promise me now that you're going to do it. Thank you. It's a very quick exercise about Mr. Asshole. This is my dating coach, Rami. That's what he calls the bad guy in his head that tells him he's not good enough. We all have it. We all have it. And you can deal with it. One, notice, bring it on. Notice where it sits around you. Mine sits on my shoulder, like the good guy, bad guy, angel type thing, but mine sits on my shoulder, talks into this ear. Notice, don't notice what it says, but notice the voice it uses. Is it a teacher or a parent or a hedgehog or a police person, or, you know, notice the tone, the timbre, depth, what it sounds like. And just give it a little jiggle, make it wobble and vibrate, and then slowly move it around and notice where it has less impact on you. And as soon as you notice you can jiggle it and move it, change it to something else. Something stupid, Homer Simpson or a Dippy Clown, or someone really inconsequential who can't hurt or harm, whose opinion you don't care about, who means nothing. Their opinion means nothing to you. And just change that for me in 3, 2, 1. And notice how it's completely different now. And just push it away. You can move it, push it away, push it back, make it keep going further and further away into the distance, getting quieter and quieter. You can push it through the wall, out the other side, through the window, into the field, into the car park, into the garden. You just keep pushing it until you can't hear it anymore. Notice how it's different now. You can do that every time this voice comes on. You created it. You have control over it. You can just get rid of it like that, or move it down your arm all the way to your finger and flick it away. Get rid of it. Done a lot of work on Mr. Asshole. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Get rid of the voice. All right. So how do you find it? There's a few steps to this. Is the booklet still up? It is brilliant. Thank you. We'll leave that up for you. Because some things to get over. There is no one purpose to rule them all. And says one purpose to rule them all. Tengwa didn't blow up very well, did it? It's a little bit wonky, but hey, that is a load of old. That says bollocks in Tengwa. Look, there is no one true purpose. You weren't put here for a reason. You create your own reason. Don't settle. Don't wait. Try shit out and see what fits. Purpose is like a hat. There are lots of hats. You don't know if it's going to look right, if it's going to fit until you try it on. I'm not going to try them all on, but I've got lots of hats. Try all of the hats on. Many of them will fit you. Some of them won't fit you. Some of them might only fit on certain days. You aren't going to know until that one really doesn't fit. You aren't going to know until you put it on your head. Is my head a really weird shape? Because none of those hats look like they fit. Not on the top hat. This was actually part of a Scrooge McDuck costume. Moving on. There's no one purpose. There's no one thing. Let go of that notion. There's not just one meaning, one thing that you were put here to do. The terrible equation, you and values and experience and action and gifts and abilities and skills and talents divided by usefulness. That's where it comes from. Do more. Right, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but I have spent hours, maybe even days, talking about time travel, going back to that one pivotal moment in your life where everything would go different if you changed it, if you did one thing, one single thing different, or going back to those pivotal moments in human history. What if you made something happen different? What if we watch a lot of Doctor Who? All right. But you know what? Do you know what? What if that moment is now? What if that moment is right now? And if you make that decision to do more, that your whole life changes? What if the whole of human history changes from this point because you decide to do more and find this out? What if you go out on adventures and exploring what's important to you and trying things and sampling things and giving this a go and saying yes and trying that, and then you create something beautiful or amazing or something that just makes life better for all of us? Who's to say that this isn't the moment that the Doctor would visit and dun 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 dun. I have my Sonic, but there's no TARDIS noise. It's a little bit disappointing. I would have really liked it. If the TARDIS has just shown up in your house, please let me know, because I'd quite like to meet the Doctor, any of the Doctors. The battery's out as well. So, look, like I said, you might not change the world, but you can change your world. Please do. And thank you, Batman, as well. And thank you, Robin, for writing. Comfort zones. Yes, comfort zones. That's what we were going to talk about. Right, the comfort zone is the sum of everything you've done before, essentially. It's everything that you're comfortable doing. It's what makes you happy. It's what makes you feel safe. It's what makes you calm. And unfortunately, there's no growth there. There's no development there. You only grow when you put yourself just beyond it. Some people quite a long way beyond it. Don't go too far. We don't want you going beyond where the magic happens into the panic zone of the void beyond and have to come running back to the comfort zone. Though that's okay. Spending time in your comfort zone is fine. Just don't live there. Otherwise, you become, I'm not saying you will become this, but that's how people become, like an old racist sat on the sofa who eats nothing but pizza and shouts things at the X Factor or American Idol because that's all they're comfortable with. Fearful of the world, fearful of the people, the places, the things that are in it. No, go out and enjoy it. Go out and experience it. Experience the beauty and the pain and the ups and the downs, because that's what life is. And if you don't get out there doing it, somebody else is, and you're going to end up sat playing, I don't know, Pac-Man, because that's the only thing you're comfortable with. Sorry, got a little bit passionate then, because this is important, because back when I wasn't growing, my biggest value was comfort, and that did me no favours whatsoever, and became a bit of a recluse and just smoked a lot of weed and played video games, which to some of you might sound like a great life, but there's so much more out there. Go and book some immersive theatre. Go down to the play park and have a go on the slides. Just go and do something that you don't normally do. Take a different route home. Just do something. Good. That was good. So yeah, just bloody well do it. If you don't ask, you don't get. And that goes for all elements of life. You know, it's not about being pushy. It's just about making it an option for the person. Hey, start the blogs, ask for the work experience. If you don't, then you're not going to get it. All right. I feel like I've laboured this point for long enough, and we're... yeah. Because, yeah, wise old Obi-Wan, and seeing as this is quite a Star Warsy time that we are living in, let's have that as a clip.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
I just love Anne's face at the end of that. It's like, what are you talking about, old man? Yeah, you make your own luck. Sure, there actually is luck. Some people will be in the right place at the right time, but you can create those scenarios by taking action, by putting things in the right place, by contacting the right people, by risking going down to Mos Eisley on a Saturday night and seeing what's going on. We talked about values, so do the values exercise. All right, grab your workbooks, kids, because this is how you really figure it out. I'm sorry, I've got an itchy nose. This is we're going to do the deep stuff now. We're not going to be able to do the exercises now, but have your workbook to hand, take a look at it, and watch the replay of this. Come back to this section. We are about 57 minutes in. Oh, I'm behind schedule. I apologise for that. Come to about 57 minutes in. Look at the questions. Look at what we're talking about, and just do it at your own pace. Set aside the time. Promise me now that you'll set aside some time to work for yourself, to work on yourself. I realise I will have had about an hour of your time. I'm going to ask for about another half an hour to work on this. So this is all about your story, who you are, what's important to you, what's not important to you, what you love, what you hate, your legacy, all of this stuff. Question 1. Lots of questions, really. What do you love? These are the things that make you tick. Why do you do the things that you do? What makes you forget to eat? Do you ever do that? You get so engrossed in an activity. You go, oh, bloody hell. I've not had anything to eat. And I really need to eat. And I need to drink water. What do you post about online most often on social media? What are the things that drive you to comment and post pictures and events and all of that kind of stuff? What gets you excited like a kid at Christmas? Yeah, so you can't sleep. Oh, exciting times. Who do you love to work with? And this can be an individual, type of person, or a group of people. Like I know I love to work with geeks and nerds and people in the entertainment industry. When have you really impressed someone? You know, something that they've commented on, something that you've been really proud of. And what makes you smile? What makes you smile? Like, you know, great big grin, like a real genuine smile of joy, of happiness. Something I should have said, there's a reason we had to go through all those steps before we got here. It's like you weren't ready for this. This is all going to seem so easy now, but we had to deal with the root causes of why it doesn't happen. Otherwise, this would have seemed like a load of old swear word in Tengwa. This is going to seem so easy, and most people just don't set the time aside to do this. So please, 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 please do. I won't beg again. All right, so we've dealt with the love. Why you do the things you do, the passions, the joys, the excitement. What about the hate? Who do you hate? What do you hate to do? Who do you hate to work with? Who do you look at? Again, this can be individuals, types of people, or groups of people. Who do you look at and think the really bad swear about? You know the one. I'm not going to say it, but you look at them and go, oh my God, what a... You can fill in the blank yourself. And spend some time writing it down and keep going. If you need to fill the page, fill the page. This will all help you figure out what you don't want to do. All right, so let's move on. No fail mode. Thank you, Rock Band and Guitar Hero, for finally including no fail mode, because that means I can completely destroy through the fire and the flames on expert and be able to get further than that far down the first part. I was going to put a video in here, but it was long. It's like an 8-minute song. But what would you do if there was no chance of failing? If you knew you were going to succeed? If someone had waved a magic wand and gone, there, it's done. You're going to achieve it. There's no problems, no challenges. You'll just get stuck in and you'll do it. What would you do? Let's talk about the successes. What's your greatest achievement? Yeah, this could be work or fun, personal, could be silly, it could be funny, it could be very serious, it can be me trying to get the next prop set up and it's not working. I think it's broken, which is a shame. That's not my biggest success, but your success should be big or small. What are you most proud of when you overcome real adversity, like your next prop not working because you've not plugged the right one in? Brilliant, very slick indeed, Bates. But what have you succeeded in? So I might say things about the podcast, about changing my health, and working with people. They can be big and small. So you can get lots of them down and then circle your biggest one. Brilliant. This better be worth it now that I've faffed around with cables, because sorry, you're dead. That's a shame. You are a spooky ghost at your own funeral. And I didn't know that this... Oh, that's really cool. This changes with your voice. What do you want people to say about you at your funeral? What's your legacy? How do people react? How do people respond? You don't have to be a spooky ghost. You can be a friendly ghost like Casper, or I'm trying to think of other ghosts. Poltergeist in that game back on the Mega Drive, which I imagine no one else will remember. If you have any other suggestions for different ghosts who aren't spooky, do let us know in the chat. So this is all about, that's it. It's done. Finished. What do you want people to say about you? How do you want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be? It wasn't really worth it plugging that in, was it? Okay, you live and learn. There's no such thing as failure. It's all just feedback. Let's see if the next one's plugged in. Giving the game away. All right, you're not dead. Hooray! You get another shot, maybe. You collected your 100th coin. That was worth it too. You get one more shot. What's your purpose? Write it down. And there might be lots of things, because remember, there isn't just one. There's lots of potential purposes. They might overlap. They might be completely separate. It's about doing what's important to you, doing what matters to you, what's important to your values, what's important to your core, what's important to your being. That's it. It's really that simple. Go through those exercises, figure it out. If you need any help, get in touch with us, or ask in the group, or ask your friends, ask your family, ask the people who know you best. It's only going to happen if you set the time aside to work on it. Most people don't, so you're already ahead of them. So yeah, one last thing. Don't panic. You don't have to figure it out immediately. Sooner the better, of course, so that you can start living it and working towards it. Then, of course, we can help. It's not too early or too late. Here's a bunch of people who started throughout their lives, and I'm really sorry, I've realised there's no women on that list. J.K. Rowling was 34 when Harry Potter was published. Cher Wang of HTC was 39. I think Estee Lauder was in her late 50s and subsequently became the richest independent woman in the world. all of these people started at different times in their lives. You know, Charles Flint of IBM, 61. They became quite big, didn't they? So you have enough experience, youngsters. It's not too late if you're a bit older like me. I was around the William Boeing age when I started. I'm approaching 40, so that's fine. Don't worry about it. And if you are traveling, take a towel with you. And Nathan Drake, it's not going to be easy, you know. It was Elena who actually responded with, nothing worthwhile is. Do you know what, though? It might be easy. It might be super easy. You might set off on this journey and within 6 months, within 6 weeks, within 6 days, be living a life of purpose, a life of satisfaction, a life that's paying the bills and making you happy and making people around you happy. And as long as you're not doing guns and loot crates, which then we'd be happy to help you and sharing that and promote you and all of that good stuff. Yeah, some quotes we didn't have time for because this comes back. There's only one way you're going to get this. That's if you reach for it. I hope Nintendo don't do a cease and desist. You've got to go for it. If you don't go for it, you'll never find out. If you never find out, you'll never live a life of purpose. You can be happy, you can be satisfied, but there's always going to be something there, something missing. None of us are getting out of here alive. Throw yourself into it. Have a go. At the very least, do the exercises in the book, and who knows what you'll achieve. And then come and tell me of all the awesome stuff you've done, because that would make me very, very happy. Because that's my purpose. I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes now talking about the course for people who want to take this further, who want to work with me, who want to work with Coaching for Geeks in terms of not just figuring out the purpose, going deeper into the values, but also making that beautiful goal, which uses language which will drive you and motivate you and prompt you to take action. But we also look at your action plan, and there's accountability and step-by-step help to get all of this done. So it's called Achievement Unlocked: How to Achieve Everything. Everything, anything. I'm not promising you'll achieve everything. I am promising you'll achieve anything. Oh, sorry, I'm just putting the offer up. There we go. That's not me, even when I was a little bit heavier. I can't, my beard's not quite that good. So there's a link up there. We have got a special offer up at the moment with 20 units and available for 24 hours. What we do is, these are the deeper tools. We've really touched on the surface. We've gone quite far under the surface, but there's a lot further we can go. It's all about unlocking your own achievement. Clever, right? When we first put this together, achievements felt like a good deal in video game. But this is the refined version of a course that originally launched a year ago. Taken a cohort through it. We've achieved great things. We've had businesses set up. We've had new lifestyles. We've had people change countries. We've had people go off traveling. All kinds of amazing, incredible stuff has happened. And we've taken their feedback and refined the course, made it even better, even more to the point, and the worksheets more useful, more clear. It talks about your values and your satisfaction level with different areas of your life. Right now, right this minute, you do an assessment, you figure it out, and that enables you to choose what's most lacking within your life. And with that information, we create a goal together. You get a one-to-one coaching session with me, so that we craft that goal. We make sure it's something that you really want, like 100%, 10 out of 10. There can be no doubt. There's no point going for something that you're not sure about, right? So we'll make sure that you're sure of it at some level. and we'll use language to craft it and hone it into something which really compels you to take action, that will drive you forwards, even when times are difficult or boring or hard. You know, I have to do accounts, and I don't like doing accounts. I have to do some training that I don't really want to do, but it's important because there's bits of it are useful. I have to. Oh, I hate networking. Oh, but I have to do it. So, and I hate. You know, I'm sat here running a webinar when I could be playing Super Mario or board games or Dungeons and Dragons or Laser Quest, or there's actually a party going on which I could be getting ready for. You know, all of these things, I do this because I love it, because it's my passion. So that's why we have to create this beautiful goal for you. We also look at your resources. These aren't just, it's not just money. It's not sheep for wood. It might be. Wood for sheep, damn it. Get your Catan jokes right, Bates. It's all about your network, the people you can draw upon, where you can go, and things again are difficult, where you can get, you know, my laptop, my flip chart, even my Nebula of Nest games count as resources for me because they're relevant to what we're doing and how we're doing it. And then we craft an action plan. We break it right down into chunks, the steps that you need to take and are going to take in order to achieve your goal. Now, this action plan, once you start on it, you have to check in once a week with me to let me know what you've done. So once a week, you tell me what actions you've completed, what you haven't completed, and what your action plan is for the coming week. And this 6 weeks of accountability mean that you will kick off like a rocket. You will just go for it, because otherwise you're going to have me on your case going, oh, why haven't you done the things that you said you do? Promise me. And you've let me down, and you've let yourself down, and you've let everyone around you. No, it's not quite that bad. But we do adopt an approach that expects you to do the things you said you're going to do, because you can have one or two things. You can have results, or you can have excuses. Which do you want it to be? But hey, oh wow, some people have hopped on. Amazing, it's for you. Brilliant. I love action takers, and you've got the bonuses, which I'm going to tell you about the bonuses that are coming too. It's right for you, even if you've got no idea of what you want yet. If you've already got a goal in mind of any size, if you're lost, not sure, or if you're really focused and know what you want, if you want to write a book, start a business, have better relationships, become a full-time Twitch streamer, then this would be right for you. And there are some benefits and whatever, some bonuses. I'm getting excited because there's people I'm going to be working with. Yeah, awesome. Whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve it. You can achieve it. All right, let's be honest here. You can't be the first person on the moon, because that's already happened. But what else could you do? What else could you achieve? So let's talk about what's included. We've got the course itself, which is valued at £197. That includes all the modules taking you through step by step, figuring out what you want and how to achieve it, the action planning, the resources, all of that. It's videos, it's worksheets, it's MP3s, it's exercises, and additional notes and handouts. I'm also throwing in the Power Up Toolkit. This is 5 additional courses on, let's see if I can remember them all, on procrastination. Hey, we all do it, especially as gamers. It's never been a better time to be a geek, and that means there's so many distractions out there. Motivations, going the other way, the things that drive you, the things that make you want to take action. We've got self-care, because it's important. Your health is important. If you don't keep your cup filled, you're going to run out. And I almost burnt out last week, and I had to take some time off. It's important, but you keep yourself fit and healthy in order to achieve these things. Self-sabotage. Ooh, looking at the errors in my slides, that's not self-sabotage. That's just running out of time. Sorry, guys. But why is it that we quite often, when we're doing so well, we'd stick that riding along on our bike at full pelt. We'd just go, what would happen if I stuck this stick in there? And then you go, you pull an end over and over you go. We talk about all of the things that might cause self-sabotage and how to overcome them. I've forgotten what else is in there. There's another one. Self-care, motivation, procrastination. Oh, yeah, when things do go wrong, how to pick yourself up, dust yourself down and carry on. But it happens. It happens a lot in life. And it's your resilience that makes you figure out how to carry on and how to do it. We'll also throw in the coaching, which is a value of £97. For each of those modules are their own courses at £100 each. You get the whole thing thrown in. Get the accountability. I no longer sell this through my website because it's a big time sink for me. But I'd like to give it to the people who will take action, who are going to get the most from it. So that's really important. So we'll give you the accountability. It used to be £300 for 6 weeks. Plus, you get access to the secret group on Facebook. You get access to me and my coaches. I charge £3,000 for a day's consultancy. You'll get way more than that. My coaches charge £1,000 each for a day's consultancy. It's easily £5,000 worth of value just from being in that group, because you will have direct access to me and my team and anyone else I bring in. Plus any of the video content we do in the main group, we'll stay there for 24 hours and we'll move it into the secret group. So that's a total value of £6,094 just for £197 for lifetime access to Achievement Unlocked. How to achieve anything. Yeah, you pay £197. Which is dependent on the exchange rate. Oh, I did this. It's I've not got it. I think it was awkward. Go to plexi.com and put it in. I think it's about 160. Don't really know. Don't quote me. So bonuses, 24 hours or until we sell out. Social media automation guide. How did I grow to 50,000 followers on Twitter? I'll tell you, it starts with great content, but there's lots of other tips and tricks you can use to grow your accounts rapidly. I'm working on a good habit building ebook. That's going to be £23 RRP. I will give you that as soon as it is written. That's my goal over Christmas. I'm going to throw in an extra one-to-one coaching session, value £97, plus everything else, the course, the bonus modules, the accountability. Total value £6,297. I'll give it to you for £197. Sorry, $265 ish, depending on the exchange rate. You get that. And that's the end. It looks like there are some of the course available under the offer. I would ask that you don't share that link with anyone, because it's just for you lot who attended the webinar. Because I want action takers who get it, who understand it, to benefit from the bonuses. So we are coaching for geeks. We turn geeks into superheroes every single day. If you're not in the Facebook group, cfgshortcuts.com will take you there. We have the UK's #1 games and hobbies podcast, which is our sneaky way of luring people into the world of professional development. We have some great guests. Each of the coaches takes an episode a piece. And we are also #7 games and hobbies in the States, which is exciting. You can find us at coachingforgeeks.com. That's where you'll find the blog. That's where you'll find more information on our other courses, our other content, other webinars, everything else that we're doing. We'll hit coachingforgeeks.com. The podcast is on pretty much everything. We're even on Spotify now. Just search Coaching for Geeks. Dating course is also available. You can check out what's coming, what we've got already, coachingforgeeks.com/CFG-courses. Or you can just use the navigation system on the website. You're all people, you know how websites work. You can figure it out. Fitness course is coming in 2018, plus all of the additional courses will be coming soon too, including our good habit building guide. Join the group at cfgshortcut.com. Follow me on Twitter at Coaching Geeks. And if you've got any questions, any concerns, if any of this doesn't make sense, if you think it was amazing, if you think it was a load of old nonsense, if you just want to play Mario Kart, drop me a line, Robin at coachingforgeeks.com. All right, last quote. This one's from Dumbledore. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Remember that. Thank you, everyone. You've been amazing. Thank you for bearing with us. I know we've run over a little bit, but I hope you found lots of value in what we've done today. Download the workbook. This replay will be available for, I think the email says 24 hours. We'll make that at least 48 hours so that you've got the opportunity to go through the exercises. If you've got any questions about what you're doing, if you filled out the workbook, drop me a line. I can help out with any questions there. Best thing to do is join the group, cfgshortcut.com, and me, one of the team, or our awesome geeks who are a part of the group will be on hand to help you too. So thank you very much. I've really enjoyed this, and I'm going to now go and put my Sonic hat back on and pretend to do a crossover. Oh, God, it's just like Smash Brothers, isn't it? Cheers, folks. We'll see you very soon. Keep on being awesome. Bye-bye.